Blue Bird Books is the children's and young adult division of Elmi Farhanghi Publishing Company. Elmi Farhanghi is one of the oldest and leading publishing houses in Iran. It's been around for about 62 years. The company is located in Tehran, and Tehran is really the leader in the Iranian publishing world. And according to the Iran Cultural Affairs Institute, most of the publishers, paper supply companies, lithographers, printing companies, binding corporations, book distribution centers, photographer, graphic designers, electronic publishers are mainly focused in Tehran. And if Tehran doesn't have the most, they have the highest concentration of these industries, including bookstores. For example, it's estimated that there are about 5,100 publishers in Iran, and about 3,100 of these are in the city of Tehran. The International Department, Iran Cultural Fair Institute, states that publishing books is one of the most important cultural activities in the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Iranian Cultural Affairs Institute estimates more than 11,000 titles are published each year for children's and young adults in Iran. This doesn't include supplementary learning resources for primary and secondary education. Unlike the United Arab Emirates, 75% of the books published in Iran are original compositions and not translations, leaving the other 25% to translated international popular titles. The Iran Cultural Affairs Institute estimates that 350 newly published books are released per day. I don't know if this is actually accurate or not, but this is what one of their pamphlets actually stated. So, unlike a lot of the other publishing stands that I spent time with and spoke with, the Blue Bird Book Publishing Company did have a variety of religious and educational books, which were actually really beautiful. This is one example. This is a really famous story, or kind of like not a myth, maybe a legend or a lore. That's what they were trying to explain to me. And it's really popular to read, I guess, if you're in university. But they decided to simplify the story for younger kids. So that's one of them. I spoke with a gentleman who he literally gave me as many books as I could carry away, and these were the ones that I was able to take with me. But at first he was like, "Oh, you don't want the religious books. You don't really want to look at those. Like, that's not really what you're interested in." And I still wanted to see them, even though my focus wasn't, was trying to stay away from that. I still wanted to see the difference in how it's the text or the books are presented and created, as opposed to the ones that are here in the United States. And this one here is a really good example of how beautiful they are. And it almost, I wish I could show a video of this one. I should have made one, but this one looks like a stage, the way it's presented. So that one's really, really neat. So many of the books are beautifully illustrated. This one looks like it's been stamped throughout. And they're all very unique in style and in the actual story that they're telling. I've included some videos below this one, just explaining some of the books. Something that was helpful during the festival is that they included these little descriptions in English, and so I was able to, figure out what was going on, which was really helpful. And so I described some of the books, and I flipped through the pages a little bit below this video, so you should check those out too. Something that I had totally forgotten about while I was there at the stand, and I think it was just the excitement of being in Bologna and being able to talk with one of the publishers, is that that these books aren't actually published in Arabic. They're published in Farsi. And that they don't necessarily speak Arabic in Iran, that they speak Farsi and Persian, and I think maybe one other language as well, but I can't remember what the gentleman had told me what it was. So it's nice to kind of see a totally different setup and totally different language and sentence structure. The Iranian publishing world has and is doing so many different projects, and I've included 4 on the next link underneath the Bluebird books. You guys should check some of them out. Some of them are pretty amazing. They started their own book fair in 1988, which has just exploded and expanded, and it's a huge, huge event in Iran. And then this is a translation for international books to be translated into Persian, which is kind of interesting and neat that they're trying to expand and have more books available in Persian. And then this one is probably the coolest and most amazing. In 2004, they opened up the title isn't on here, but it's I believe it's called a book garden. And so it's just this whole compound, and you can go and you can borrow books, you can buy books. They have a book museum, and they are trying to promote more literacy and learning in Iran. You guys should definitely explore the website. They're doing all kinds of really awesome things at this really cool place.